Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 174th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, The Changing World. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Geta Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a rune of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the packs battled B, a Bale Fire Shark, and Jonathan Nightbiter, who had fully betrayed them. After a long, arduous battle, B had escaped, and only the Rokio is left before turning into seawater and vanishing. B then rushed into Pearl Harbor and set off a nuclear device, and the fallout begins. Jonathan falls back into Hirano, and the packs start to slowly swim away before they are approached by a rescue boat. As you guys are swimming, you notice a ship coming towards you away from the blast zone. There are humans on it as you all shift to Hamid form, and you are pulled into the ship. Hey, you guys okay? Come on. As they're pulling you on, the rescuers there doing their best. As you see the mushroom cloud just looming in the background.
Yeah, we're all right, thank you.
We gotta we'll put you over here. We're gonna try and get out of here as quickly as possible. There's some worry that nuke went off near some of the other missiles that were stored here, so we've got a dirty bomb situation on top of the nuclear blast.
What does that mean?
The nuke went off. There was still uranium and plutonium weapons grade that got hit and turned to ash and scattered, throwing more radioactive material into the atmosphere than normal. And getting picked up by some of the jet streams. We're sending word as fast as we can to California to try and evacuate people in potential hazard zones.
Fuck.
Hey, it's okay. Is that you get like blankets wrapped around you? Go over there. We've got a couple other people. There were a couple people on the beach who mercifully got away. And we're going to try and get out of here and head on over to Lihue, just to make sure everyone's safe. As you guys move across the boat, you see a familiar face as you see Jonathan Nightbiter huddled around with some of the other people, his head down, unmoving. It looked like he had passed out, shifted to Hamid, and was picked up by the boat, his Hirano probably blocking him from frenzying.
Or I'll sit down heavily next to him.
There doesn't seem to be any reaction.
That's fine. I think that William should take his other side.
I will go and sit next to Nightbiter after looking at or receiving Cora's look.
Mark will approach too. We should search him too. Maybe B gave him something, or he has something that could help us with our leads.
Later.
Got it.
The ship goes for several hours over the choppy seas, the kind of groaning. Some of the people on the ship starting to vomit from radiation sickness, being closer to the blast and not having Garu regeneration. You hear the screaming from inside the ship as well, as some people are getting as intensive medical care as they can on this rescue ship. Their bodies partially microwaved and skin slipping off as it was cooked slightly, and the layer of fat between the skin and the flesh allowed the skin to peel off like overly cooked chicken. Get into the harbor, and I need the best manipulation stealth to get Jonathan Nightbiter to come with you and slip out from the crowd. The difficulty will be 5. With Owl, it looks like Zeb will be sitting at a pretty 8. 2 successes as you slip out with Jonathan Nightbiter. He is dead weight as he barely walks, he doesn't really fight you. It just is a kind of unmoving.
Mark will... Are we somewhere safe to where Mark can search him?
Yeah, after about 8 hours of walking.
Mark will search him.
Okay. Where are you? You don't really find anything on his person. His clothes are kind of ragged. Given he'd been slightly irradiated, there's a fried cell phone, his keys, any fetishes that he seemed to have dropped off his body and went to the bottom of the ocean.
After he kind of dangles the keys and makes his statement, Mark will look back at Jonathan and just leer at him and just try to see if there's any sort of life in his eyes.
Nothing. Cold, not dead, but so distant it barely matters.
Mark will just shake his head, look back at Kyle, and ask, what now?
We bring him to the Sept.
And so you spend the next 2 days, 3 really, tracking with Jonathan as he does not work with you. Just drags his feet. Once again, not fighting, just a complete and utter apathy. You get to the Sept, and you share the information. So, as you drag him before the elders, they hold him for some time while they try and find any Garu who survived the space laser and the nuclear weapon going off. They find one. They have survived. News is that the country is starting to go a bit haywire. Martial law has been declared on the entire West Coast. There is tension internationally as America is trying to figure out who has done this, as they are looking for enemies abroad, domestic terrorists, and the like. But there is finally time to deal with Jonathan Nightfighter, who, you all explain, joined B, helped set up the ambush with the space laser, and whom had attacked you and worked with a Bale Fire Shark, directly aiding the worm. It is decided that the right of Gaia's vengeful teeth will be used upon him, and it is asked that your packs help in the endeavor, as you knew him directly.
Of course. It's our duty.
And so, they ask who would like to help the Right Master in this.
Yeah.
Mark will approach. I will aid in this right.
The rest of you grab a limb. As you all come in and grab Jonathan and slam him into a rock, and the Right Master starts to cut their hand with a sharpened rock, and they hand it over to Mark.
Mark will take the blade and approach Jonathan with it.
As the Right Master shows you to cut your hand with the rock.
And Mark will do that too.
And then the Right Master goes, "Speak of their betrayals, speak to Gaia," as they start wailing, tears dripping into the blood of their hand, and they start to wipe it along Jonathan's face, his eyes, his ears, and his forehead, and then upon his chest.
Mark will, as he's rubbing the blood all over Jonathan, he'll begin speaking and repeating the crimes, and then tears will start coming from his eyes as he gets to the betrayal he feels from him personally, the betrayal of the Sept, the betrayal of Great Lake Superior.
As you do, he just kind of looks at you and he just mumbles, "It was tied to her life."
What was that? Mark will hold his head up.
"The jar to my Hirano. He tied it to her life. Just wanted to tell you." As the mix of blood and tears that have been wiped on his face start to drip onto the earth, and the Right Master goes, "Release him."
Mark will, as he's releasing him, slowly will whisper, "Your soul may have been bound to be, but your fate was bound when you decided to make the wrong actions."
As he lands, hands first after you let him go, and you see the ground is small silver blades slicing his hands, his knees, and his feet. As he stands up and he starts getting pushed to run as the blades start slicing into his feet, and the Right Master gives a howl for all of you to shift into Krynos and hound him till he can run no more.
Mark will proceed.
Yep.
As you chase, you get up to him. Your claws dig into his flesh to knock him forward, so he keeps running. He lands on his chest as he gets up, and you see the slices upon him as he continues to walk and shamble, not even bothering to shift into Krynos, before he finally lands, hits the ground, and you see the blades slicing his face slowly disappear as his life disappears, or as his life leaks out of him, and his name forever will be struck from any great stories of the Garu, and his name will only be used as a curse and a lesson to future generations of the vileness of those who betray Gaia.
He who bites at the night bites and tastes the worm. Mark will just walk away.
Another day passes as things calm down. Once again, things being chaotic as they are. What is it? You are gifted free passage out of the sept, and you are all gifted a worm scale and a bane arrow as talents for any future endeavors.
That's a worm scale and bane arrow for each of us?
Yes.
Or for... Okay, cool.
Before we leave, Keegan, I wanted to see if we could get name or contacts from the older brother kin that were here. Some back that we could try to get a hold of in the mainland.
One of them is hesitant and says...
I'll
go
explain
ahead.
why. I'll explain to him why. I'll explain to him that there is a worm namer that we have been trying to fight, and we are ignorant of just how strong it is. But hesitant, I get it.
There is one. She is of the Dream Speakers. Her name is Luana, and she lived in LA, but LA has been evacuated due to the radiation cloud. And it's still evacuating, at least. Even after 2 full weeks, they haven't gotten to everyone.
Kyle is gonna approach Cora. Hey,
You doing all right? As well as you can be.
I suppose it doesn't really feel over with B.
Do you think it'll ever actually feel over?
No, I suppose not. It just didn't go the way I expected. Not the ambush, just her dead by not really us.
It definitely did not go the way I expected or even wanted it to either. It's exceedingly frustrating that it wasn't us. That it was a trap for her just as much as it was for us.
Yeah, I suppose that's maybe a lesson that we should take from this. That just because we want something doesn't mean we'll get a satisfying conclusion. The apocalypse doesn't always grant us things like that.
Ragnarok does not care about our satisfaction.
No. We should go to her place, though. See if there are any other leads we can dig up.
Very much agreed.
And I suppose that'll be as close to a real ending as we'll get.
Tell you what, though, if everything's gone already, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Yeah. Who knows? Hopefully there's something. And not just more danger.
I don't know, something that maybe she left out, or just information at all. Help would be great.
Yeah. Let's get everyone and go.
We'll go round them up.
Alright. You go round them up. Cora, you find the ill omens doing whatever it is they do when you're not around. I assume just contemplating in thought. Maybe asking Owl to love them for once, but who knows? And it'll never happen, regardless. And Kyle, you come across Mark by himself.
You alright, man?
What? Oh, hey Kyle. Tell you the truth, I don't know. A lot has happened.
Yeah. It's been quite a week. Or 5 years, I suppose.
You know, I thought I could save them. Jonathan and B. I even had this harebrained scheme, trying to save B.
Yeah?
Mark will start tearing up. It's too much death, man.
Yeah, there is. I'm sure there are a lot of lessons that we could take from this. A lot of things that we could change, a lot of things that we could do better. Years ago, 5 months ago, now. I think the only thing that we can take solace in is that they both chose to bring death and destruction onto people. One of them fallen and one not. And they're not around to do that anymore. And it sucks that they can't make right what they did. But at the same time, I don't know that that was ever an option.
No, I don't think it could have been either. After witnessing what I saw today, it's bitter lessons like this. Someone like Jonathan Nightbiter can do this. And he'll spit a little bit at saying his name. I should feel good that bitch got this. That she got what she got coming to her. But losing Jonathan kinda, well, tainted it. Kinda seems you can't get what you want without losing something you don't even realize you have in the first place.
Well, we're all going to be going to her house, see if she had anything that can give us a lead. And maybe we'll get a lead and lose something else in the process.
Good. Yeah,
Let's go figure out what both those things are.
I'm with you, Kyle. And hey, this battle may feel like a loss, but this is just one in many in the war to come. So you're right. Can't lose hope. Can't lose myself in this.
Yeah, brother. Let's go find the next battle.
And he'll sternly and confidently shake his head at him and follow suit.
So, the ports are on high alert. You'll have to do a manipulation streetwise, difficulty 8, to have anyone take you in a ship and head all the way to up north near Waialu, which is outside the current radiation zone. Most of the other cities on the island are in the fallout zone. It's a little less on the western edge, but the National Guard is doing about 10 miles to the west and north, and then basically all the way to the main island as a blockade zone due to, once again, fallout reaching the jet streams. So, who has that role? I'm guessing it's a certain Bonar.
It is.
Alright, let's see it, Dimitri.
Oh, what's the difficulty?
I believe I said 8.
8. Okay. 4 successes.
So you are able to get a ship there, and that takes about half the day. The rest of it will have to be on foot. All major roads are blocked by National Guard, concrete blockades, etc.
Are these blockades, like, for real, very serious, everywhere?
Yeah, like there are men with guns
Okay.
at every road leading towards Honolulu and south.
I mean, is this... I know nothing about what this would look like in the Umbra. Would it be easier through the Umbra? Obviously, the blockades won't be there, but I don't know what Nuke looks like there. I'll at least hear the Thurge's opinion on it. And not just the DM's face.
Mark will look at Kyle and go, cataclysmic events such as this in the physical is going to have resounding after effects, resounding shocks to the Umbra. Spirits it's going to be a torrent. It's going to be chaos embodiment, Kyle. The whole island is screaming in pain.
I mean, we're pretty used to forest and mountain.
Yeah, I say let's go hiking.
I mean, legit, the H2. Okay, where did we come onto the island at, Keegan?
You came from the port at
Waialua?
Waialu. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and we have to get to where?
You want to get to Honolulu, where B's apartment was.
Okay.
Now, the roads to the north are not blocked, so you could potentially go north and then cut over and take it wide.
And you mean like going around the northern portion of the island and around?
Yeah, so like start going north, and then as you start like getting to like the ranch areas and things like that, you basically turn wide before you get to the next city and the next military blockade, and then start cutting cross country across all the mountainous areas and such to head south.
Right.
So basically cut through the forest right before Papukia.
Yeah, that's the suggestion.
We could even shift into Lupus.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think under the circumstances, we can kind of do that.
So that'll add a day as you move through, and things start to get eerie as you start passing Walapio, as it's completely empty. As you start coming down and you see you finally get into Honolulu and you see some of the devastation, shattered windows, destroyed cars, tons of ash from the nuclear explosion, several bodies. Dimitri, you have to shift out of your lupus form pretty quickly as the radiation is starting to liquefy your organs and your regeneration not kicking in lupus form.
Would I be able to keep up in like Krynos or Hispo instead?
Yeah, you can shift to Krynos or Hispo. There doesn't seem to be anyone here.
Okay. Just so my organs don't
liquefy.
Yeah.
So, and a correction, looking at the map, it took 2 days to get here in lupus form, full sprinting. But
Mark's gonna turn into Hispo form too.
Okay.
So we're looking for Bee's place.
Yep. As you start going you find Bee's place. It is slightly damaged, being closer to the nuclear explosion than others, being in the Richie part of the city. Shattered windows, part of it partially collapsed. You'll need to dig through rubble to get to things.
Mark will start digging.
Yep.
All right.
Big ol' Hispo paws.
As you start digging, you find a melted laptop. You find a badge for a Magadon facility that doesn't seem to have been scrambled. It might be usable once before they deactivate the badge. And you find a crystal ball shattered in the house. You also find Bee's diary, or journal, however you wish to call it. Some of the pages are still legible, many of them talking about how she needs to talk to the doctor, how he gets her mind off things. She can feel the madness creeping back, that her quote-unquote, and she even uses quotes, her uncle had abandoned her after the hive raid, how the spirals seem to give her up to Therafuge, and how they plan on using Therafuge in the future to help boost her profits.
Mark will make noises and motions in his Hispo form to Howls-In-Memory that maybe he should switch to human form so he could carry this stuff and still be able to regenerate.
Yeah, I'll shift into Hamid form and start picking the stuff up. Might try looking around for like a satchel or backpack of some kind, just so I can carry it around easier.
I mean, player asking question, is it out of the question for Mark to switch into Hamid form really quick so he can just kind of hold out his magpie swag so that he could put that stuff in it and then switch back to Hispo really quick?
He'll have two lethal, and so he'll stay at 1 lethal while you're in the area. You'll stay at 2 lethal while you're in the area, as your body constantly takes damage and heals every turn.
Right, because right now I'm just fighting off taking 1 lethal.
Yeah, you're perpetually at 1 lethal the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I mean, we plan on getting out of here as soon as that.
Why don't you switch to Glabro instead?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So Mark will... Yeah, good idea. Mark will switch into Glabro and take his magpie swag off and open it up and motion Howls-In-Memory to put it in the backpack.
All right, Dimitri will put stuff in the backpack.
And then he'll close it up and then just kind of chill in Glabro because there's no one around. So...
William's phone starts going off despite the destruction of all cell towers here. William answers and puts it on speaker. I'll speak for William while he's away in his storm season. As you hear the distorted voice that has greeted you before.
I heard you had a little tussle. Was it good to get closure with your packmate?
Mark will growl out.
What do you want? I wanted to say I'm sorry for your loss. I did try my best to cure Zerano, Mark. as I understand it, Hirano is the loss of purpose. It's the understanding that one would lose, and so I removed his Hirano temporarily so that, well, he'd eventually be on the winning side. And then his Hirano would go away. You should have been thanking me, but instead you interfered and ended up killing the one you love. A regular and common refrain, if I do say so myself.
I've accepted the one I loved was lost as soon as he fell into Hirano. When he fell into that, he became a plaything for you.
No, he was a sick man. And it's a shame that you viewed him as such an object. I thought you loved him. I guess I was
He was my mentor. He was my father figure.
And then he died not knowing how little you actually understood or cared about him. This was a good session, Mark. Oh, and Zeb,
Please go ahead.
I hope you understand that things run in families, and you can't save Constance just like you couldn't save your father.
We'll get to you before the end.
You can try. See, the difference between you and me is that you're trying to stop what's going on. The world's gonna go to shit whether or not I intervene, which means I can take time out of my busy schedule to play with you. You have to choose between the people you love and the world. And what is the world if all you do is face people like me? Monsters, Fomori, rapists, drug peddlers, politicians, police, all the time, while every last person who made this world worth living in falls to the wayside in the name of your mission. That's the true tragedy of you. You can't save anyone, and if you do, they'll die in the fires of the world as it ends, like everyone else you failed.
Why?
Why?
Not why you're doing the things you're doing to us. We already know that. Why, in general? Why push the world closer?
The world's full of predator and prey, and I'm the greatest predator of all. The world isn't shaped yet to know that, or for me to fully extend my fangs. Break the world, start a new order, a proper order. The world is full of illusions. Love, compassion, justice. They're all full of little lies that weaken us. They break the natural hierarchy of things. When in the end, you can't have compassion without power. And I'm tired of the weak using the cudgel of compassion to explain their lot in this world. I want this world to be truthful, that's all.
Well, I suppose it makes sense that you think you'd survive the apocalypse. You are very arrogant. But thank you for answering. That was very kind. You didn't have to do that. I didn't expect you to.
Why lie? There's no reason in it. Once again, I'm very compassionate, because I have the power to be.
Click.
The doctor trying to get in our heads.
Sig, could you do me a quick solid?
What's that?
Could you roll your rage for me, please? 1 sec.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's a new moon, so it's diff 9.
Oh boy.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright, cool. No frenzy.
Yay. Mark will huff and puff and...
I find it helps to not take him seriously, at least when he's speaking.
He knows nothing about us. Nothing truly.
So it takes about 2 days to get back north, and we need... Or actually, there's no streetwise required to leave this area. The government is just letting people go to other cities and get to airports to get the fuck out. So that takes another almost day of travel, and then... Or it takes another 2 days to get back to the Sept. So it is October the 5th. Got it. Cool. Alright. So, we're back to the Sept. What is the plan?
Have you finished everything that we needed to do here?
Mark wants to see if the spirit of the laptop is still able to communicate.
A little bit.
Ooh, and he'll go to his resident glasswalker and explain that this was a laptop that was found and that the spirit is still, like, holding on, and if there's anything he could do to it to maybe get information off of it.
You want me to speak to a spirit?
Well, I could translate.
So, is the laptop working, or did you awaken the spirit in the laptop to communicate with?
He awoken the spirit in the laptop to communicate because the laptop is partially melted from the nuclear blast.
Okay. Mark, I want you to ask the spirit what information is left inside the device.
Mark will pop a gnosis and give it to the spirit to give it strength to reply better and ask the question.
Do you have proper password? Drive is encrypted. Can only give drive information to one who is properly allowed to use this laptop.
Mark, present the ID badge.
Mark will have said, and then Mark will present, show the spirit the ID badge. Will this be enough?
Accepted, granted. As it gives you just huge financial reports on Magadon in Hawaii, all the official ones. It's just listing out numbers, figures, how much was spent, how much is coming in, how much is going out. It's all above board.
Mark will ask it to slow down and
instead,
just keep repeating.
No, instead, Mark, I want you to ask the spirit to send it to my email.
Mark will ask your email and then give it to the spirit to be sent to your email.
Unable. This device is no longer able to connect to Wi-Fi.
And he'll tell that to William.
Okay. I'm going to activate my plug and play. Connect my phone to the device. And now I want you to have the spirit transfer the data, all data, to this device that's connected.
Mark will tell the spirit that request.
The spirit acknowledges as it just looks at you. Its mouth droops a little bit and you hear the Internet Explorer or connection sound from the 90s shoot over into your device.
Wait, the spirit's now in my device?
The information, at least. The spirit's still there, but it is dying.
Mark, I have the information. This is now your purview.
Player question. Is there anything a Thurge can do to help a spirit pass on? I know I have Gathering of the Departed, but that's for garbage.
Yeah. So the spirit is you can honor the spirit. You can do Gathering of the Departed in a way.
I'd like to sense worm, please.
Oh, okay.
What's the difficulty, Keegan? I mean, I know it's either. I mean, depending on how close the taint is, it's either 5 or 7, and I'm not sure which one would apply here.
Just roll, and I'll tell you. Just
okay.
Whether you sense it or not.
Okay.
The spirit smells of the worm.
Let it die. William, check your equipment.
I'll go ahead and check the downloaded or transferred data.
Intelligence computer.
Mark will catch the hint of Zeb's tone and then immediately just snap the computer in half.
What difficulty?
We're going to go with 7. You catch it in time. There was malware installed on your phone when you got that data from the spirit.
I'm so sorry, William. I did not think to sense the worm. I have that gift. Thank you, Zeb. Thank you.
Let's just be on our toes. A lot of things are going to get a little sideways until we leave here.
Keegan, I was able to take care of the malware, but is the data still there?
Yes, the data's still there.
Okay. And the data itself is just accounting. There's nothing else.
Yeah, it's all accounting information.
Okay. I will go ahead and forward that over to Steel Mountain, or, not Steel Mountain, but the Garu there.
Yeah.
Forwarding just the information. Pick this up in Honolulu. It's regarding Magadon, and they were experimenting. Magadon was experimenting on utilizing Theragon?
Don't put that name down.
Yeah.
Just say that they're looking into things, and we'll have more in person, brother.
Okay. Magadon was looking into utilizing outside resources to bolster their profits. We'll call when we're back on mainland. Zeb, why should I not have used that name?
Just other people's, as the youths say, other people's names in our mouths. I'd sooner not have transmissions linked to you where things like that come around. Names have power, brother.
All right. So we heading back to Sacred Stone, or?
I don't see why not. Does anybody else have a lead that we need to go somewhere else.
Mark would like to go to Five Mirrors to tell the Sept personally what happened to Nightbiter.
Okay.
That'll still be Sacred Stone first, though, since it's direct.
We'll be sure to wash all of our stuff off so we don't bring irradiated material back into our home sept.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Is that all it takes? A good washing?
It's soap and water. Right, we'll use the right, but in real life,
yeah.
Kind of soap and water, man.
Yeah.
And time.
I think time is the big one.
Oh, jeez.
A half-life, you might say. All right, so you guys get the free jump to Unified Heart, and Unified Heart takes 1 talent total to jump you to Sacred Stone.
I'll spend mine. My why did I scroll up? My worm scale.
Your worm scale? Okay, cool. As you guys head back, you get to Sacred Stone and are greeted by the gatekeeper.
Well, this is where we split for a little bit. I need to go tell Five Mirrors what happened to Nightbiter. I'll be back, don't you worry. And I'll request a moon bridge to Five Mirrors.
It's free, so you're able to jump over immediately. All right. So we'll start at Five Mirrors as you land, and you are greeted by Unicorn's Guard. Welcome home, Mark.
Unicorn's Guard, it's good to see you. I don't mean to cut pleasantries short here, but there's news I need to tell the Sept and the Elders.
I'll go grab Rends the Wicked, speaks with sparrows, and stands with the river.
Thank you.
You come to the Elders. The Sept is kind of on high alert as they kind of explain that because this is a waterway that does have international travel come in, that the whole state is on high alert. There have been higher numbers of protests, and older brothers starting to ask for requests as well because, well, part of the whole thing is several companies have now offered their assistance to Hawaii to start doing tests and setting up facilities to test measures against radiation and radiation sickness. What they're doing, though, is they're buying indigenous land in Hawaii to do it, as the people have no choice, at subprime levels, and taking advantage of the radioactive fallout on property prices.
Mark will begin his address. I understand things are tense and high task at the moment, so I'll make this quick. By now, I'm sure you all have heard what has happened in Hawaii, and by now, I'm sure you all know that, yes, Jonathan Nightbiter did help in instigating that. And Mark will, quickly as best as he can, report to the Elders what Jonathan Nightbiter had been doing, why he did, and what was done at the Sept in Hawaii.
One of them asks, do you think there's any risk to this Sept? Do you think he's done anything to here before he left?
I don't think so, but I feel a high alert should be kept, because I don't know if the good doctor, he'll explain what is going on as lightly as he can about this powerful mage that has been influencing events, and there's evidence to suggest this mage influenced Jonathan, and that there should be a vigil for namers.
Understood. Thank you.
Mark will give a bow, and one more thing. Now that I have you all here, I haven't really had the time to frankly apologize for something that happened years ago that threatened this Sept. And that was when the Avatar of Truth was summoned at Sacred Stone. And I spoke the truth of this Sept and what it was and what it helps bind underneath.
Understand. We appreciate you coming forth, but you will be barred from any further secrets from the Sept going forward until you have proven yourself otherwise.
Understood, Elder. However, I'm curious. The pact I made with the spirit, it did not break. I'm still here.
It is because a greater spirit forced it to break, but also Lake Superior cannot do much to one in a landlocked state. I'd recommend not going into the waters anytime soon, however, as the spirit might exact its revenge for a broken promise that way.
Understood, Elder. That is all. And Mark will, pleasantries, I guess, with the elders and the set members, but then he needs to get back to Sacred Stone.
All right. Meanwhile, the rest of you were informed of something very troubling. In the past few days, maybe, let me check the date, because it is October the 5th. Oh, almost a week to the day now. The Sept has weakened, as if it were dying despite all the rites being done. There is great concern amongst all the Garu here, and they're all freaking out, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Have we spoken to Golden Eagle?
You have, and Golden Eagle's vision is clouding. The future is becoming less and less certain, as if there is an injection of entropy into fate itself.
Just among us, so not among the rest of the Sept, is it possible that it's being drained?
Possible. It's possible that if there is no future, a cairn based around visions doesn't survive long.
I'm thinking that if it's entropy, it could be the wild coming.
Entropy in this case is the energies of destruction and ending. What I do wonder is how many things that Storm Chaser has done unwittingly that might have helped this.
Not just Storm Chaser. This could be those many random tasks that so many have performed.
Precisely.
Is now the time to let the elders know of Storm Chaser, especially after what we saw Nightbiter go through, fully cognizant and still worked for the worm.
Or maybe we warn Storm Chaser and tell him that the good doctor might be closing out his deals soon.
I think the opposite. We should not talk to Storm Chaser ever. We spoke to Nightbiter once or twice, and we had an army come down on us and then turned on us. Anything to do with the Namer.
I don't know that I agree. I feel that this lessens the choice that he made. He chose. Yes, they had power over him. His options were death or betrayal, and he chose betrayal.
And I'm saying an honorable Garu would have chosen death.
Yes, absolutely.
And with us knowing this, is it right for us to let the doctor keep using Storm Chaser like this?
I don't think so.
I think despite all the conflict that we've had with Storm Chaser in the past, even if it's for his own personal ambitions, he is, to our knowledge, still fighting for Gaia. He's trying to work against the good doctor, or so he believes so.
Right, but so is Nightbiter. Or was.
No.
Nightbiter gave up. He lied to us about that, but he chose to work with the worm over Cleoth, over the lives of the Cleoth, over the lives of his son, over the lives of his mentee, over Gaia herself. He may not have fallen to the worm, but he would have.
Keegan, Zeb has sight from beyond. Are his visions also just becoming either the same thing or nothing at all?
They are becoming more varied, but many of them are becoming more dark.
I mean, that's not clouded, though, right?
No.
That is different than what Golden Eagle's experiencing.
I still think we are hopelessly outplayed, and Storm Chaser is a hanging thread. I'm going to be sending members of my tribe very soon to probably go kill my sister, Kyle, so I take it very seriously, your loss and our losses that we've already sustained. I don't know what keeping Storm Chaser in play does to us. He's responsible almost single-handedly for the defense of this place.
I mean, that's the fun part of this, right? We don't know why what happens with the kin happens from our visions. We don't know if it's his removal, his presence, or if that completely unaffects what happens. We don't know if he will suddenly drop dead when the good doctor decides that he has no further use for him. Perhaps we'll be left unprotected at a critical moment, or perhaps our sept will fall being drained, or perhaps it will fall because the visions of the future are gone and Great Golden Eagle can no longer sustain itself. There are so many variables to this equation that I know nothing about what happens when you remove or change one. He is so far ingrained that I have no idea if he is a good or a bad. If I were to put myself in the good doctor's shoes, and I wanted to cause as much harm as possible to us, the people who live here and love this sept, I would make them tear it apart.
If his goal is still to release the Storm Eater to bring about the end, there's only a few things we can do anyway. And then it's going to be about survival of the people that are here. I know that's playing not to lose, but that might be as good as we do now.
Yeah, I don't think we have any other option.
So what's the plan?
We're going to name drop him to the elders. Do we want to do that? And then otherwise prepare for riots and things that'll probably be to come, who knows when.
I don't know. With all the good he's done for the sept, I don't know if they'll believe us, but it's worth the try.
If we're going to kick the can on this, that's fine. I'll need to speak with Two-Hearts anyway, because the companion of my sister is a Get of Fenris kin, and they might both be in danger.
I'll do what I can. But as far as Chases the Storm goes, I remember what happened last time we tried to talk to him. I don't want to do it again. I mean, talk to him about what he's doing. So I am all in favor of speaking to the elders, not necessarily accusing, but making them aware of what's going on.
At this point, I'm also in favor of doing that.
So am I. It's either we do that, I think, or just make a decision about Storm Chaser further down the road. We can't really do anything right now.
I mean, we really just can't keep pushing this off. We have to let others know.
That's true. Sooner or later, we have to do something.
I mean, we could call him into the sept, sit down in front of the other elders, explain some more. I don't think we need to mention Carson. And I and maybe other Philodox, or others with the gift, could use Scent of the Oathbreaker. Tie him to oaths to ensure that he is keeping the kin safe and not taking actions that actually put the sept in jeopardy. And if he broke them, we would all know. It would put his name out there, which I'm sure he would hate, but it would afford some amount of security.
I think tying him to oaths is a great idea. So is that the plan then?
Yep.
Looks like that's the consensus.
Sounds like it.
All right. So you bring in Storm Chaser.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I will need Gnosis first, because I have none. I used it all in the fight. I don't know if we've recovered any.
Yeah, 2 weeks have passed, so full Gnosis, and roll 1d10 for starting rage. So, call in Storm Chaser. You have the elders. What's this all about?
Who was it who said that? The elders or him?
Storm Chaser.
We wanted to bring you in and speak with you about the good doctor.
As he looks at the elders and he looks at you, you see his look of frustration as he stops a frenzy just in time, instinctively shifting to Glabro. What about him?
Because of how things have worsened here, I believe it is prudent that more people share more information, and that oaths are made, so that if they are broken, we will know.
Very well. What are the oaths?
That no actions are taken that directly harm the kin, that put the sept in jeopardy, or worsen its decline.
I see.
And that as far as possible, any actions taken on the part of the good doctor are reported.
I see. So he gives kind of a smile. Simple oath. What if it is done inadvertently? Will that set off the oath? One sec.
There is no way you are not aware of this gift, and how it functions.
You're right. I can't do that then. I've already taken those actions. And it won't be long now until this Karen dies.
How did the elders react to those words?
The elders, all shift to Krynos immediately.
I would agree with the elders.
You can spend a point of rage.
I do.
So, because I'm well above my limit, and I too would like to switch to Krynos.
Okay. Spend and then roll.
Roll for frenzy.
Yep, with 9 dice. And the difficulty is now...
Because it switched up.
Yeah, it's Crescent Moon, so it's diff 7. or diff 8 because you're in because of your rank. All right, no frenzy.
Oh boy.
Ooh, if you weren't this rank though, it would have been a frenzy.
Yeah. Gotta sack that rage somehow.
What did you do?
A lot of things. For one, well, I was blind to it before, but your relatives don't really like you. Suckling off their teat, making them live in a compound. Thankfully, good old Storm Chaser was there, teaching them, making sure that they knew how to fight back if their relatives tried to force them into another living situation that they weren't comfortable with. Tried to protect them because their lives are too difficult. Tell them where to shop, where to eat, what to eat, because of some mythical worm most of them know of but don't see daily like us. That was the easiest part. Also, why do you think I set this truce? That also helped. And there's no point in hiding it, right? And, well, I put something here. It's taken root. You'll never find it. You've had months to. This Karen will die. That roadway from coast to coast will shatter, and the Garo Nation is going to lose every last Karen. And I will be heralded as a hero. A king, maybe, to the winning side. I saw the torments of oblivion when you came to the underworld. Survived that. Saw everything. Saw the infinite void. Changes a Garu, Kyle. Deeply, even. Kill me? Okay. Maybe he'll recreate my body, maybe he won't. I hope he does. Because learning how to get one over on you, coming over to me, oh, Carson, we know that you're just a pawn. We believe you. Because you're whimpering children that I have no idea how you even achieved your rank. If this is the best the Garo Nation can produce as leaders, and I played you, read you like a cheap dime-back novel, fuck, what else is there to say?
Zeb will just shift to Kreenos, yell,
Fuck this.
and attack this dude.
You guys trounce him. You've got 3 elders plus your whole pack, and it's just him. He gets a couple good shots off, but nothing that won't regenerate in a few days. The Sept is on high alert. So, question, what do you want to do? No, with this information, and the Sept is trying to figure things out. What are your suggestions? What do you plan on doing? Because it's gonna go fast.
My first thought is to go to the kinfolk and I guess figure out what's going on their end.
All right. Who wants to join Dimitri for that one?
That was my first instinct as well.
Okay,
It's
you
just,
three are gone.
Yeah.
Next, anything else? Anyone else wants to do?
We need to find whatever he said he planted here, whether it's an idea, whether it's a physical thing, or something in the Umbra. But we need to find whatever it is that he was talking about.
Yes. Okay. And the Karen is huge, so any searching will probably take days.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll assist her. The only other thing I'll do is end up sending messengers out that had either Fenrir or Silent Striders that my sister is very likely a Fomor, and her paramour might be too.
Awesome.
What is it that you wanted me to help with that?
It was really if you knew any good of Fenris to tell them, because they might have to go kill one of their kin, or my kin might kill their kin, and I don't want bad things to happen between our tribes, so we're not keeping it a fucking secret that one of them needs to probably die pretty quick. And it's probably my sister.
Definitely. Would I know anyone near where?
You give a name.
his sister-
Yeah, you
All
give a name. All right, so Dimitri, William, Mark, first things first, you guys are going to want to do whoever has the highest perception streetwise. Diff 8.
Pretty sure that's Dim.
Dim. All right, Dim, roll that. Diff 8.
Okay.
You don't pick up on things.
I'm gonna mulligan that.
All right, mulligan it. No.
Ah.
You missed the core things. All right, as you get to the entrance of the complex, I need collectively whoever has the highest perception alertness, and we're going to drop the difficulty to 6 because the other ones are helping out. All right, that's Mark, diff 6. Ooh. Do you want to use a mulligan?
Yes. This would be embarrassing.
You notice just in time, I need a stamina athletics from you guys in Hamid form, because there are guns in the windows trained on you, and they are ready to fire, and you need to get behind the walls to avoid getting shot. Dimitri,
was
it'll
that?
be aggravated damage. It'll be lethal for everyone else.
What was that difficulty?
It will be diff 6. You guys get behind the wall as the guns go off. The kin are ready to kill you.
I'm gonna shout out.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
Leave.
We just came to talk.
We're not willing to talk. Where's Carson?
He was being utilized by the worm.
The worm this, the worm that. You keep saying that when you want us under your heel, and I'm fucking tired of it. Get out. Never come back.
Do we know the name of the person that's speaking?
Yeah, come up with a name.
Okay.
That's not stupid.
Okay. First one that's coming to mind is Derek.
There you go. Derek's not a
Okay.
stupid name.
Derek, come on. It's me, Dimitri. Williams here. We've been helping you. We've been trying to help you all this time.
Yeah, and did you help by killing someone's friend because they were of the worm? We all heard what happened to Veronica.
I don't think anything's gonna work, guys. Whatever Storm Chaser wrought here, it's a fabric of lies and deceit, and they're wrapped in it. I suggest we make a run for it. Gunfire is only going to attract attention we don't need.
You're right. It's just, what if another Garu comes by trying to check up on them?
We need to let the Sept know. We need to get out of here.
All right, let's go.
Can I call, or not call, but maybe text, message, what is the kin's name? Because I've been helping a lot of them with the HOA issues.
Yeah, Brian and them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can text them.
Better yet, let me call him on speaker.
Okay. Hey, William, what's going on?
Not much. Hey, Brian, where are you located right now?
Home. In Colorado.
Okay. There's a lot going on at the, I'm trying to remember what it's called. I don't want to call it a compound though.
That's what it is. Just use the language that you got. coming to
Okay.
you.
There's some issues going on at the compound, and I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Those guys have always been kind of cliquish, especially after for the past 7 months. I just didn't pay them no mind. I was working on my own shit.
Yeah, I get that. They're not talking to us. They're actively aggressive.
Really?
We just came by to help, but
They're actively aggressive? What the fuck, dude?
yeah,
Have you talked to the Sept yet?
we just came from the set because there's some shit going on there, and so we wanted to come by to make sure that everyone was okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything, man. Why are we safe?
You, as far as I'm aware, you should be.
Okay.
Has anybody else talked to you about anything recently?
No, we've been, like I said, we've been trying to do our own things, and the people at the compound have always been kind of cliquish, and so kind of pushing away some of us who didn't kind of go as often. They were kind of tightly knit.
Okay. Well, that's all I really need to know right now. Just stay safe right now. If you need anything, give me a call.
Yeah. All right, at the Sept, I need perception investigation. What side of the gauntlet are you searching?
I guess first, since we're in the physical, we should search the physical and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if the gauntlet's low enough, Zeb can look across the gauntlet without entering.
Perfect. If you're doing both, then I'm going to bump up the difficulty to perception investigation, diff 7.
Okay.
Whoever has the highest.
Keegan, just is this a scenario where the advanced version of Call to Arms, to have spirits help in this search from all around, is this an appropriate time for that?
I think so. And I'll drop your difficulty by 2 if you succeed. I think that one requires a roll, does it not?
Yeah, let me pull it up. And I know it's at least, I think I have to spend 2 gnosis for it too. No, there's no roll.
Excellent.
It's a roll if you do the lesser version.
Got
the
it.
other is just spend 2 gnosis.
Okay, cool. Then the
A
difficulty,
1 mile radius.
Then the difficulty goes down by 2, so it's diff 5 who has the highest. Perception investigation.
Zebulon, I guess.
Yeah.
I've one more than
Okay.
Tyler, but Tyler, it's your gift if you'd like to.
No, go for it. I'm no fool.
Hey.
Hey, so after 4 days, you find it. It's a seed of pure negative spiritual energy that has started to take root in the Karen, and it's been growing and it's creating mycelia throughout the land. The spirit has the seed has not reached the heart of the Karen yet with its mycelia, which is a good thing. Zeb, could I get an intelligence occult difficulty 8, please?
2 successes.
You understand that if the mycelia got to the heart of the Karen, it would have wrapped around the moon bridge and used the moon bridge to infect every Karen that was attached to this one to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Luckily, you were able to catch it in time and you were able to destroy it. But the Karen is now permanently one less. Part of the Karen has died from this.
Good call, Cora.
Thank you. I guess reading books sometimes does help.
It does, doesn't it? C-Spot Runs really saved the fucking day. Alright, now, I'm gonna jump ahead. As things kind of happen, you guys are trying to figure things out. How do you want to address the... So, the kinfolk have been shooting at any Garu who tries to help, including Philodox who use gifts. The number of shots has drawn the police. The police have spoken with these kinfolk, and there was a shootout. The number of kinfolk killed was 5. The rest are gone. They left the compound. Now, if I could get a... What? Yes, Tyler.
When you say they left the compound, do you mean they left after the shootout? Before?
Before. Like, it seems like before the shootout. Like, they had a skeleton crew to draw fire, and now those kinfolk are out in the wild somewhere. Wild with an I. After the police, though, we can get an intelligence investigation, if you wish. 7.
Oh, I've got 8 points in that.
God damn, Dimitri. I thought that was a mark skill for sure.
Oh, what's the diff again?
It's gonna be 7.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright, you find several papers, things like that. Things that the police didn't find, and you're thankful for it. Given how much you guys flustered them in the initial attack and how they didn't get any shots off on you, they were going to put out these things to make it look like the kinfolk in Old Colorado City were part of this compound so that the police would actually start investigating them directly as well. Luckily, you were able to catch it in time and prevent the police from finding this as you snuck into an active crime scene, and were able to end this somewhat peacefully.
Awesome.
Alright, we're going to have a quick bit of downtime. About a month is going to pass. What is Dimitri doing in that month? If anything. Maybe just trying to collect their breath, given everything.
I'd say a mix of trying to catch his breath and also maybe trying to put out some feelers to try to figure out where those kinfolk went.
Charisma streetwise, diff 8. Cora, what are you doing for the month?
Guarding the sept and working out, trying to get that strength and stamina back.
Alright, so what are the training times on that? Because you can do that too.
Let me pull it up, because I know exactly where it is.
Dimitri didn't find dick.
Was not a botch, though.
Wasn't a botch, though. Kyle, what are you doing for the month?
I'm definitely going to be going after a gift, at least, likely mental speech.
Okay.
But that won't take up the whole time. I'll probably have other things I need to do, but I'll need time to figure out what I choose.
Okay, and part of that is probably Kyle just living his life to a certain degree after everything. So remember that with your characters, they don't have to be actively doing things.
Sure.
All right, Mark, what are you doing for the month?
Mark will be performing sept duties and helping out the other kin that could get him money, so he could finally have some money.
Okay, like actual money, or
like actual money.
All
yeah.
Right. All right, making sure. So we'll split that time. So for actual money, we're gonna have you do Dex Crafts diff 8, just because you're splitting your time. All right.
Okay, thank you.
So you've gained 1 resource as a background.
Woohoo!
All right, and then I'm gonna want an intelligence occult, also diff 8. Or we'll make that one diff 7 because that's more in your wheelhouse, since Mark's never really held down a job before.
Yeah.
All right, so you gain, for doing sept duties, you gain death dust and a guy's breath.
Sweet.
All right, William, what are you doing for the month?
I want to go ahead and keep helping out the kin.
Okay.
That's going to be all kin, whether it's searching for the kin that left and just helping them, and then also the HOA stuff.
Okay.
And then I also still need to contact Steel Mountain regarding the information.
So you go up to Steel Mountain, you do all the other stuff. So I'm going to have you roll for the other one because you're kind of a mediator. Well, we'll say you're getting online resources, so we'll do an intelligence computer diff 8 since you're spreading yourself sort of thin with all the kin and stuff.
Yep, intelligence computer diff 8.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so you do that. You're able to help them out a little bit. They're able to expand their network, and you're actually starting to draw some non-kin into the mutual aid network now. All of them being vetted as you're able to use online resources to make sure that you're able to at least semi-vet. Obviously, part of mutual aid is making sure that resources are gifted regardless of background, but you are making sure that volunteers don't have any sort of connections to like the police, the federal government, things like that, or any major connections to any Pentex subsidiaries that you are aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And Zeb, what are you doing for about the month?
Well, there's a ritual Zeb wants to learn, but he might not have enough time to find it, so he'll put leads out to try to find out about it. And that's the Greater Rite of Mourning.
Okay.
Otherwise, while he waits for information on that, he'll wait for information on the kin, and then he will, for his kin specifically, the one that he's putting the warning out about, to learn his lesson from Erebus. And Zeb will teach rituals to some of the younger theurgers here, especially like descent into the underworld or other things that might be very helpful very soon.
All right, charisma rituals. We're going to go diff... We'll do diff 8 for the amount of time. All right, you teach the shit out of those ones, and you gain the knowledge of the Rite of Mourning and that it exists. And get a general idea that maybe you can get something going in the Virginia region, as there are a couple Silent Striders over there who know the rite.
Great.
Next is also that you get some info, and Constance, no Fomori yet. She hasn't changed. It sounds like it's something there to stress you out, at least from the good doctor so far. But
fair enough.
Eyes are on her, and they're going to try and keep as many eyes as possible. As we go forward, it is election night. As you all sit in William's house and watch the TV, you think that's how it's pronounced, given how much you guys fucking deal with technology these days, and watch the election results. After the bombing of Hawaii, because of messaging, Clinton Turner has lost the election. However, the Democratic presidential hopeful now, or nominee, has announced that Clinton Turner will be added to her cabinet as a way of showing solidarity to show that you are one America. And the Septs try and figure out what's going on there. All right. And then finally, you get a call, Zeb, or Spirit, arrives, and the Spirit goes, Constance is requesting your presence. She is in Kansas City right now. She left the farm. She's looking to talk to you and your packs.
I will let the packs know. I am going to go. I would appreciate the Yellow Omens coming with me. I understand if Fomori's Bane cannot.
No, we'll come.
Yeah.
All right. And whatever she's asking for will be answered next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in that next episode. Bye.
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 See you then.
Bye.